Good evening and welcome to SVG-TV's news for Tuesday, November 18th, 2025. I'm Triska Campbell with the details. Healthcare professionals in St. Vincent and the Grenadines are among a group of practitioners from OECS countries who have received the first ever pediatric endocrinium training facilitated by World Pediatrics at the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital. The two-day program, which began yesterday, was led by Dr. William Mccleas, a lead surgeon and pediatric cardiologist with World Pediatrics. Dr. Mccleas explained that the training will significantly improve the region's capacity to diagnose heart conditions in children, instead of waiting for a World Pediatrics team to visit during medical missions. Local clinicians will now be able to conduct these essential examinations themselves, enabling a faster and more continuous access to pediatric cardiology services.
And we have been here for many years, and we go to outreach clinics in multiple island nations and identify children. And when we come here once or twice a year, we see the children that are there, but between the visits, we would love to be able to provide timely care to the patients. And so we're educating adult cardiologists, pediatricians, and ultrasonographers to be able to do pediatric echocardiograms. So when they are referred a baby who is blue, who is breathing fast, or they have a heart murmur, they can then do the echocardiogram, a good echocardiogram, and send it to us via telemedicine for the cardiologist to review it and to identify the heart disease very early on, so we can get them into the system and get them the health care that they need, whether it's surgery or heart catheterization or just medications.
A total of 9 healthcare workers participated in the training, including 3 from SVG. Lauren McIntosh-Shallow, Executive Director for World Pediatrics in the Caribbean, noted that this initiative has been in development for some time. She said the successful launch represents a major step forward for child health in the region and will transform the lives of children living with congenital or acquired heart conditions.
I'm so happy to see it come to fruition. It should be a game changer for us in pediatric care and accessing imaging in particular throughout the region. And I just want to extend a heartfelt appreciation to the ministries of health, and the trainers who are all from the US. They've taken vacation time to come down and provide these services and train our in-region personnel, as well as the trainees who have come down to St. Vincent, or even the ones from here, but they've taken personal and professional time off to be a part of this training, and they've really committed to making a difference. And everybody involved, even the children, all Vincentian children have been ever so cooperative, and the families have come forward to be able to do the practical component of the training session. So we're grateful for everybody involved, and that's what is helping us to help and heal more children across the Caribbean.
SVG-TV News also spoke with some of the trainees, among them a pediatric consultant from St. Vincent and the Grenadines and an adult cardiologist from St. Lucia, who expressed pride in being a part of the first cohort of regional clinicians to undergo this specialized training. They said the skills gained will enhance their ability to identify and manage pediatric cardiac problems much earlier.
Tune our skills some more to ensure that the pictures that we send are more accurately depicting what is going on with the patient. We've had interesting cases, so we've had interesting anatomy and interesting abnormalities, so it's been a great experience to learn how to better visualize and take better images on these patients. I am grateful that I was granted this opportunity, and I hope that it's something that is ongoing.
So we see a lot of normal children, obviously. I mean, I'm actually an adult cardiologist, but because of our resource limitations in the region, some of us who do adult cardiology have to do pediatric cardiology, which is, a pleasure to do as well. But so it's always good to have more exposure and more training and so on. I've been in St. Lucia doing pediatric cardiology for about 7 years, but at least that aspect of things anyway. So it's the more, as we say, the more the merrier, the better, the more you see, the more you experience. the more equipped you are to identify the abnormal heart and to identify a child who will require early intervention.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines currently serves as the Caribbean hub for World Pediatrics, hosting more than 20 medical missions annually with numerous life-saving surgeries performed at the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital. The introduction of pediatric endocardiography training marks another milestone in strengthening local and regional capacity for advanced medical care. The Marriaqua Civic Center, located at Hopewell, was officially opened today, marking a significant milestone for community development in the Marriaqua Valley. The new facility is expected to serve as a central hub for education, social programs, disaster coordination, and community activities, filling the gap left since the demolition of the old Marriaqua Community Center. Delivering welcoming remarks, Permanent Secretary within the Ministry of National Mobilization, Social Development, Family, Gender Affairs and Persons with Disabilities, Mercer Finch Burke, praised the new center as an exemplary piece of infrastructure. She described it as one of its kind, noting that the ministry hopes to see similar civic centers replaced across St. Vincent and the Grenadines to expand community education and service delivery.
In times like these, where we must do knowledge advancement. And here it is the ministry that focuses on family empowerment, building communities, strengthening resilience. Here it is we are going to give back to the Marriaqua Valley such an infrastructure that is not only going to be there as a pretty design, but is going to be built with a lot of programs and services. And also, we must say the first program and service that will be offered in here is that the Ministry of National Mobilization shall be posted as a district service right here, so that the people of the Marriaqua Valley do not have to come into Kingston to receive any of their services. They can come right here. We thought it best to start this exercise after cabinet approval in 2020, to start in 2023 district office services, but it was done at the Marriaqua House. And you recognize the space is quite limited, and we can't get everyone to be able to get all the services there. So here it is. We are going to deliver yet again, and more people who may, for whatever reason, cannot come to the services in Kingston all of the time, right here, one place. And the hope is that all training services, whether it be Ministry of Education or other service providers, can host their activities right here. And not only that, but the people of the Marriaqua Valley can access the services.
Providing an overview of the project, Surendra Singh, project manager with the National Disaster Management Unit, the NDMU, explained that he joined the initiative in 2021 after the contract had been signed in 2018. While the center was originally scheduled for completion within 1 year, Singh noted that construction was delayed due to challenging soil conditions that required additional engineering intervention. Work eventually resumed in 2022.
The scope of the project were 2 sites. After we moved across here, the land was there and available, the government owned it. The plan was to initially, when I came, is to say, leave it as is, but at cabinet I was there in front of the PM and a number of ministers, and they said, well, my take was, leave the soil, stabilize what is there, but their pursuit is eventually, we're gonna build something later, and with that, we built a wall across there. So Minister, I believe, have some plans as we go along down the next 2 years or so. We'll be building something over there. Maybe initially a parking lot, maybe a tarmac for basketball or something of that. He will decide on the way to go here. This building is a 2-story. It's 880 square meters. For those who are in feet, it's 9,500 square feet. On the ground floor, we have 2 offices. We have, which should have been a ceramic classroom, but that's now likely to be changed for an office for the management of the building. There are 4 male and female restrooms. There's a dining area, a food preparation area, kitchen and pantry, a server room, an electrical room, a janitor's closet, general classroom, and a computer laboratory. On the first floor, which is at the top, we have a covered lounge. We have the auditorium. We have a stage and the stage area. We have 2 male and female performance washroom. We have 4 male and female change rooms. There's a veranda, and we have male and female restrooms, 4 of them. And there's a bar. Also, there's a storage below and both rooms. Other aspects of this project included a stair lift for handicap, if that's the choice of words, so folks can go up and down.
Area Representative Sinclair Prince expressed pride in witnessing the opening of the new facility. He reflected on the legacy of a former Marriaqua Community Center, which he said had served its purpose well for many years. The structure was eventually demolished due to structural deterioration, and the newly completed Civic Center now stands as its modern replacement, better equipped to meet the needs of the current and the future generations.
This new center will have a wide usage, and you've heard about some of it from the PS in mobilization already. The Ministry of National Mobilization will have a presence here in catering for the scores of persons who are recipients of their services. And there's a wide range of services provided by the Ministry of National Mobilization, and I think the Minister will allude to some of them. The Ministry of Education has already signaled their own intention to capitalize on the home economics facilities and other culinary facilities as they embrace their formal TVET outing in Marriaqua. They'll also have the facilities for adult education. And talking about TVET for Marriaqua, let me just say at this point that we will not be alone here, because TVET Institute will come to the Valley alongside this building. I'll talk about that a little bit later. And I have no doubt also that the Ministry of Culture will find the 100-seat auditorium upstairs a fitting place to develop creative arts. You've heard before that this is a very strong building. It is almost fortress-like, if you look at it. Very strong, well built. This is because it has been built to withstand natural disasters and to act as a shelter when necessary. In this era of climate change, we have to be prepared at all levels to save lives and otherwise protect our people. So this is a well-designed building with multiple uses, and I think the people of Marriaqua will be very proud of it.
The Marriaqua Civic Center project was funded jointly by the Caribbean Development Bank, the CDB, and the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines at an estimated cost of $7 million. The building was constructed by Franco Construction Limited and supervised by FDL Inc. of St. Lucia. The managing director of the SVG Broadcasting Corporation, Richard Paul Mccleas, was laid to rest last Friday, November 14, 2025, in a rare and solemn burial at sea. We have more in this report.
Family members, close friends, colleagues, and members of staff of SVG Broadcasting Corporation, past and present, journeyed approximately 10 nautical miles offshore aboard the Beckway Fast Ferry for the special service honoring Paul Mccleas, a respected pioneer in Vincentian broadcasting. The funeral service, including tributes and reflections on his life, conducted on board the vessel.
Pablo never tried to take on an issue he felt he could not resolve, so he had his lawyers take the stress off him. Wise man. I think his legacy could be that he brought news, education, and entertainment to our homes in living color. Thank you, Pablo. Rest now, my friend.
Communication led him to TV and the new ways of electronic communication. That was his life, and he impacted the lives of countless Vincentians who are seeking entertainment and news all around the world. We mourn his passing with his family and friends. But Paul would not want us to mourn for too long. He was an action person So we would want each of us to do what we do best for the betterment of those around us.
I firmly believe that my brother Paul has arranged for us to say goodbye to him on a similar trip this afternoon. Thank you.
Because the burial took place at sea, members of the SVG Coast Guard, along with an environmental health officer, were present to ensure that all maritime and health regulations were followed.
Witness this process to ensure that there is no public health issues developed to interfere with the smooth burial of the human remains. But it started way back at the funeral home, where we would take a structural procedure as to how they should design the casket so that it can easily facilitate burial at sea. For example, you would have several 2 inches of hole being installed into the casket, probably over 15 to 20 or even more, so that water could get in. And then you will have some weight, about over 10 pounds or more, in the casket, so as to allow the casket to sink with the weight of the water and the air space. It should go down very quickly and smoothly without any obstruction.
Aiden Simon, I'm the Caesar. I am representing the St. Vincent Grenadines Coast Guard Services. Today, the purpose of the Coast Guard being here is to ensure that the burial goes in accordance to the maritime regulations. This is not my first time experiencing a burial at sea. However, it's my first time being on board a vessel. I look forward to seeing the different procedures up close and personal.
Following the tributes, Reverend Victor Peters performed the final rites before the committal. Authorities confirmed that the ceremony proceeded smoothly and in full compliance with the required protocols. Richard Paul Mccleas, remembered for his decades-long contribution to local media and his leadership at SVG Broadcasting Corporation, passed away on November 4th, 2025. For SVG-TV News, Larissa Pugsley-Kidd.
Election campaign intensifies as James threatens legal action and NDP candidate criticizes ULP's rushed projects. More when we return. Stay with us. Welcome back to the evening news. The Unity Labour Party ULP candidate for North Leeward, Carlos James, has acknowledged that significant design complications contributed to delays in the start of the Hermitage Mountain Road project, which officially commenced in 2024. James provided the update while speaking at a village meeting in the community last night. James explained that the project faced major hurdles during the design phase, noting that engineers were required to revise and scale back the plans multiple times before final approval was granted for construction to begin.
The Hermitage Mountain Road was designed about 2 or 3 times. They gave me design with highway. They gave me design with wall, with stone. They gave me design with steel and concrete wall. Till they finally had to decide. I said, listen, all they spend so much time designing this road here. When we going to start this damn road? As if farmers are waiting to have this road completed. We scaled down the size of the road because in Hermitage, all you need is some labours and to pave the existing road and stabilize the surface. And when I saw the drains up there, how thin they were, clearly, those drains which were built many years ago were filled with soil and have to be deeper so that the water can run and flow smoothly off the road.
James said that despite the earlier setbacks, he is now satisfied with the progress and the pace of the work being carried out by the project team.
And they have started work in stabilizing the worst parts. And when I went up there, I was satisfied with the pace in which the team is doing, what the work they're doing. And I said, how long do you have up on here to do this? They said, the work will take a while. But we are going to spend as long as we can in the coming weeks and months to ensure Hermitage Road is stabilized sufficiently for the farmers to have a comfortable commute. And you want to know why that is important? Because every household in Spring Village and Charles Village and Cumberland, you depend on the lands in Hermitage and Convent, because the produce that you grow there, just like me as a youth and a youngster, it sends your children to school, it pay a light and water bill, and you ensure that you have food on your table for your family.
The ULP candidates emphasized the importance of the project to livelihoods of residents in the Hermitage area, many of whom rely on farming as their primary source of income. He noted that inadequate road access has long hindered the community's ability to transport produce and sustain their families.
So of course I know it's important. And I am working with you. And if I have to squeeze the finger of every employee, every engineer and architect to ensure that they get the work done and they get it done timely to roll out the projects in North Leeward, I am going to do that. And the next term, let me tell you, the people of North Leeward, once you stand with me, we have a lot of work to do to shake up the civil service so that they can work faster, more astute, and produce more for the money they get in to benefit the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
The Hermitage Mountain Road project remains a key infrastructure initiative for North Leeward, with residents hopeful that its completion will enhance access, strengthen the agricultural sector, and support long-term community development. In addition to the project update, James also addressed what he describes as propaganda and misinformation targeting him personally, including claims that he is a millionaire. He said he has been advised to pursue legal action against those responsible for the statements, which he believes were intended to damage his public reputation.
Then on Saturday, for the very first time in my life, I hear I'm a millionaire. But the truth is, I wish I was a millionaire. Because every single house in North Leeward, I would repay all of them one time and the government wouldn't have to spend a single dollar. For the very first time I hear I beat in blocks. It have a man here named Kanai. Where Kanai? Kanai, come. Come up, let people see you. Come. This is the man, unfortunately it's not me, but this is the man who beat in blocks in Belmont. Everybody know Kanai. Original Blacksman. And where be? The original Blacksman. Thank you. That's the man who beat in blocks in Belmont. So my lawyers, including a senior counsel, has advised me that they will in fact take the appropriate legal action against the man who is a failure in cricket West Indies, is a failure in everything he has touched. But certainly, we are not going to allow him to represent you to fail the people of North Leeward and St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Development projects that he claims were forcefully started by the Unity Labour Party, ULP, will be completed under a new Democratic Party administration, according to Conroy Huggins, the party's central Leeward candidate. Huggins made the statement during a village meeting held in Bamboo Square last night. Huggins emphasized that it was the strength and persistence of residents' voices that pushed the government to suddenly take action on issues that he said had been neglected for years. He argued that with general elections approaching, the ULP now lacks the time to complete the works they are hastily trying to showcase.
Imagine that, right? I'm not in cabinet yet, you know. I'm in a position. caretaker, but just the power of the voice, they had to respond. Because I will use every medium and hit them. The man actually called me the reporter. So every time I go out, I will highlight the issues. And obviously I put them out there. It's truth. Because if a photo could tell 1,000 words, imagine what a video does. So as a result of that, in Bukoment, we got the ring road. In Leyu, they try now to light Leyu playing field. Well, we know that not going to happen. And the plan that I have is bigger than that. So I ain't even going to talk about that because 11 days left, right? In 11 days, the nonsense they have going on, they can't get nothing done. They're just giving some people a little work. So I know, Bishop, that is our project. And we will get it done.
Huggins also claimed that once the ULP became aware of his candidacy, roadwork in the area was immediately accelerated. He described his candidacy as both a blessing and a curse, noting that while residents are finally seeing progress, it highlights what he described as a long-standing neglect that should never have occurred.
And Shaker said, Mr. Prime Minister, this young man Huggins from Curtains, once he is selected for the NDP, we're going to have real problems. But since that, the action and said all the roads and curtains that ain't do yet, they have to get them done. Because we cannot go into the elections without all those roads done. Well, I want to tell you, most of the roads are almost completed. But I said to you, prior to my coming, they were literally dirt. So, I heard Randy here, Blaine claim that he got them done. But he ain't get them done. Because of my presence coming in, he started to get a little nod from the PM. Because prior to that, he complained to the whole LAU that he can't get to do the things he wants to do because the Prime Minister is not releasing funds. But I said to him, I am a blessing and a disguise for, and a cause for you. A blessing because my presence is causing you to get some resources to get a little thing done before election. But of course, because you ain't going to get no pension, no gratuity, because you're going home after one term.
Furthermore, Huggins stated that despite the government's sudden push to address infrastructure that has deteriorated for years, voters should still remove them from office. He argued that the late response to the needs of Central Leeward is unacceptable and that the recent activity is driven solely by the upcoming election.
I'm saying to you, Central Leeward, I have been highlighting the neglect of Central Leeward for over a year. And you know, as I know, I have been speaking facts and the truth. Let us validate that. Look over there with me. Will you see that little bright light flicking right there? That's the Barrel Police Station. How long that out of commission? Since 2021. Mr. Man went in Parliament when they were presenting the budget. And he said, pompous, carried on. Now listen to him good. He said, they're talking about the Barley Police Station. They're talking about the Barley Police Station. To the people of Central Leeward. To the people of Central Leeward. In the first quarter. This was in January, right? He said, in the first quarter, I'm going to move the police station from Peter Soap. And I'm going to put it to Barley. Few days before election, they might try bring police station from Peter Soap to community center. Them think out notice.
Huggins urged residents not to be influenced by last-minute efforts, insisting that only an NDP government will deliver the consistent development and respect that Central Leeward deserves.